We are asking that because we have a remote presenter which is not yet connected. So in case it doesn't connect, we could anticipate one presentation from tomorrow and move it to. Yeah, yeah. I wanted to keep you tomorrow because tomorrow is a super packed and you are very fast. That's the reason why you better keep it tomorrow. Any other volunteer? That's strange, Ito.
Okay, let's start. So, yeah, thank you. Good morning, everyone. So, welcome to CCAMP session, and also welcome to Shenzhen, China, a young, beautiful city. And I really hope that you all will enjoy your trip in Shenzhen. Because I'm a local co-chair. So if you have any questions about Chinese food or shopping, please talk to me. I'm happy to help you because in Shenzhen, we have very, very cheap but high quality electronic products in Huaqiang Bay, which is not far away from here. Less than 5 kilometers, you can just take metro to be there. I think it's a good place for you guys to buy something there. I'm not at what I'm not advertising for Shenzhen. Yeah, it's up to you. Yeah. Okay, back to the meeting. Yeah, sorry. Let's start from the loadware. I think this is some information, about Lemanda, about, IT policies. I think you are familiar with the IT policies. Otherwise, please, read some, documents mentioned in this page. For the meeting tips, I think this session is being recorded, as always, not because it's in China, we record this meeting. So for the in-person participants, please make sure that to sign into the session using the, Mythical Light client, and also use the Mythical to join the mic queue. And for the remote participants, please make sure that your audio and video are off when you are not speaking. And there are some link information about Mythical Echo, and I think you know how to use the tool. And then for the minute takers, I think if anyone could help the chairs to capture some minutes, that would be much appreciated. And for the blue sheets, nothing to do. Yeah. And there's a reminder on IPR process as always. Yeah. So we always, ask the contributor or authors of draft to respond to the IPR polling as soon as possible. Otherwise, it will delay your draft to move forward. So this time we have 2 sessions, 1 hour per session. So this is the first session, and for this session actually we mainly focus on the working group drafts, and for the second session we mainly focus on the individual drafts or new drafts or some new ideas. Yeah.
Thank you. I will cover this part, which is a review or overview of the status of the work in the working group. So the first point to cover is this chart that we also presented in Montreal with the dependency of some of our work with other work mostly in TIS. So I would like to call Hamiam to explain this, please.
Huawei. Thank you. Yeah, actually, we first created this diagram in Madrid, and we updated this. And unfortunately, we didn't move any document, remove any document from these slides, but we only increase the number of dates. But it doesn't mean we are doing nothing, but we actually see the key blocking point T type C is now submitted into IESG, and I believe there would be some good output soon. So to unblock the rest of the document.
Thank you. So moving forward, regarding the last call process, we have, well, in the wiki you have documented what is the process that we do for prioritizing the different drafts. So we have a number of them. We usually identify 3 for both the working group adoption and working group last call adoption. So now we started to run the adoption of the draft from BIM that will be presented later on. I mean, we run the IPR poll, and the next will be the adoption itself. And we have as the priority, the first priority. After that, the CCAMP client PM jam. So the PM streaming is on the way, and second will be the PM jam. For a working group last call, we have well the flexi jam model is ready. So will be I don't remember if we started as well or would be soon to having started as well the working group last call, and then the following one would be the interface parameter jam is the one in the queue. So regarding document status, there was no recent RFCs from Montreal till now. There are a number of documents in RFC editor queue. There are some misref due to the dependencies. So for the RFC 1993, layer 1 types, layer 1 CSM, and OT and topo. And the IESG is processing now the optical impairment topology Jan document as well. So Ketan is in the queue. So Ketan, do you want to comment?
Yes, I just wanted to update that the optical impairment has been approved by the IESG. It was just waiting for some last bit of follow-up, but as of now, it's the approval will come out. Secretariat is busy, and it will go to RFC editor queue.
Thank you.
So thank you everyone for that long and a lot of work that got done. Thank you.
Thank you. So there are a number of working group documents in the agenda. We will cover them in this session. For the status of the rest of the working group documents that are not presented today, we have updated the status for those that have reported that in the wiki, so you can go there in the wiki directly and check the status. We will do this regularly so that the fresh information is in the wiki accessible for everyone. So regarding liaisons, we received a number of them between Montreal and now. We have this liaison statement for information modeling and data modeling coordination from IETF, if I don't remember wrongly. And there will be a meeting of SG15 on that. And Deborah and Scott will coordinate the response with TIS for this. The last point to cover is the charter update. The ISG is deciding on the working group charter update. It's scheduled the telechat meeting for beginning April. All the comments have been collected so far. So the fresh, let's say, reading of the charter is available in the GitHub. We have not put here the link. I will put later on in the chat so you can access directly to it and you can basically go through that. And with this, I think we can start with the first presentation. I will share the slides.
Just one note, we have 2 sessions super packed. Try to make the best usage of your time. I know you are eager to present your work, to present your slides, but if you manage to save some time for discussion, that's a much more useful way of our face-to-face time.
So Gabriele, do you want to present Is Gabriele here? Cannot see Gabriele. Who is the? Gabriel. Okay. Perfect.
Gabriele, you have a slide control. You can start. Gabriele, are you there? I see you in the queue, but we can't hear you. Maybe we can move to the next presentation while Gabriele tries to recover the audio. The next one is Nigel, and I don't see him online. It's going to be a quick session. Serge is in the queue? No. Let's go for the third slot then. Iowa? Oh, we have it. Who's here? Yeah.
That sounds like a very quick session. Okay, so this is for an update on the Young data model for WDM tunnel. So a brief update. So we don't have any Young model and text update since the last revision because we are also we're still having an ongoing discussion and on the technical aspect of modeling the 3R regenerator scenarios. So we have still going through some scenarios while still leaving additional scenarios to be discussed. And the main point is to identify all those key scenarios and whether there's any edge cases that we could, do edge cases and proprietary use cases that could be left out for standardization. So here we picked some typical regenerative scenarios that we have considered. The first one on the top is the basically a single wavelength 100 Ethernet over a single OTSI with the regenerator in the middle. And there we consider the type of digital termination, the chain of digital termination at the source destination, which needs to be matched. And then there are different options for the regeneration layers. And so those scenarios marked as to be discussed, we still need to go through that. So the second one is the ODU4 tunnel segment over a single OTSI with 3R regens. And the 3 and 4 scenario are still to be discussed, which involves an ODU-C4 service over a single OTSI and also an OTN OTSI service. So each of them will have different type of regenerate layer configuration, as well as the digital termination at the source destination and at the regenerator nodes. Okay, so yeah, this will become more complicated. We are considering like 400G service, Ethernet service, or for 4x100G multiplexing service over a single, either a single or multiple OTSI, which goes through the same regenerator via a single regenerator group or multiple regen groups. Okay, so what we have identified so far is we need to develop some Yang entities for the definition of regeneration layers, and also the type definition, and also as well as the sequence of digital termination that's to be characterized on the source and destination, that which needs to be matched against the regen nodes, and then also the type of inverse multiplexing that needs to be defined as well. So the next step of this draft is we will need to complete the review of all the regenerated scenarios to be covered by the standardization, and also improve the text by adding descriptions about those regen scenarios, and also improve the text on the tunnel provisioning process. And also, as suggested by the previous discussion, to add some diagram to illustrate the relationship between this model and other ongoing working group documents, like optical impairment topology, which has come to an end for IESG and publication, as well as the 1993 BIS. And then also there's a companion document for optical path computation, which needs to be aligned with the modeling of this draft once it is done. So on the Yang model end, we to define those definitions according to the gap analysis, and also there are a few routing area director and Yang doctor review comments which still left to be resolved, which is being tracked by GitHub issues. And then also some further enhancement on the definition of the RPCs, and then additional work in WDM path computation, and also on the pluggable management and control document, which can introduce additional gaps that needs to be addressed by other documents, including this one as well. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for an update. So we will, as we said, authors will continue to discuss this document over weekly calls, and then we will publish an update.
Questions? Okay, so we will move to your next presentation,
yeah,
and then we will go back to Gabriele and Roberto. If we got the confirmation from Roberto, if Gabriele's connection doesn't come back, Roberto will do the presentation.
Sounds good. Yeah, save me a
You
trip.
You're sharing the slides, Luis?
Oh, no, it's back. Yeah, the framework for OTN slicing. So yeah, so this is also an update on the framework for OTN slicing. So we have skipped updates on the last couple of IETF sessions, and this time we have presented some updates after a review among the authors and with the working group. So what we have updated for this version is we addressed some review comments, and as tracked by the issues, which has been long due for an update. And then also we have adopted and aligned the concept of the NRP with respect to OTN slicing. Basically, we have defined the process for OTN NRP realization based by using direct marking on the native OTNT topology, and rather than requiring to create abstract topology on top of the native OTN topologies. So this will help remove the need for an extra layer of topology, and then and simplify the process for NRP realization. So, and with that, then we also have updated the example figure that's in the document, which previously shows 2 layers of topologies and now being reduced to just 1 layer of topology. But then we also added the marking of the NRP onto the associated T-links associated with different OTN slices. And then we have also done some editorial improvements to the text. So the YANG model updates, like I said, in order to align this with the NRP concept, we have changed renamed what we call the slice ID as NRP RID because well, actually for the MPI model, which is southbound to the controller, and this is actually used for NRP realization and not necessarily for slice configuration at the MPI. So yeah, so as you see on the right side, the red box shows the changes in the model, and then also because we choose to do the marking of NRP identifier directly on the native topology with the T links, so we don't need to specify the link reference for each of the slices. And then because of that, we removed the slide link reference from the MPI model. Okay, so we still have a couple of open issues. Basically, while we are making the changes for this version, there's also a recently adopted working group documents on the composite slice, which in TIS, which proposed the solution for the realization of multi-domain network slices, as well as for hierarchical network slices. We believe that, we are trying to evaluate what's the impact of this model against the OTN slicing. And at this point, it seems to us that it's not clear whether the scenarios described in the composite network slice is actually for hierarchical network slicing or for hierarchical NRP, because it's whether it's talking about realization or it's talking about actual network slicing. So for the current solution that we have with the OTN slicing, it supports multi-domain NRP as well as hierarchical slicing, network slicing. However, the case for our hierarchical NRP, it's currently not supported because we don't deal with this hierarchical NRP at this point. So basically, we need some further discussion with the authors of the composite slice to decide if we need to support the hierarchical slicing also for OTN slicing. Unfortunately, one of the co-authors of OTN slicing is also a co-author of the composite slice. So we need to carry out the discussion later on. I see Adrian raised hand.
You want to take the question now?
Adrian Farrell. I think you've got it exactly right. I don't even begin to understand what a hierarchical NRP is. I mean, I understand hierarchical virtual networks, but in each network, you're operating as a network, and the NRP is just a partition of that network. A slice is kind of like an end-to-end service, and then when you go hierarchical, you're doing a sort of aggregation or carrier type thing, which is more of a concept even then than a thing.
Okay, yeah, that sounds like right. And as we said, we need to discuss with the author to determine if that would be the case, and then we can clarify. Okay, so the next step is to address those open issues, and then we'll continue with the draft review process, which we have already started, and some changes have been made. And with that, we believe that once we have resolved the issues and completed the review process, I think the draft is ready for working group last call. So as I said, we have the GitHub repository and we meet bi-weekly on Thursday. So you are more than welcome to join the discussion and help us complete the document. Yeah, that's it. Okay.
Yes.
Questions or comments?
There is a comment from Ketan on the chat, which is exactly the one I was willing to make, which is the hierarchical NRP topic is something that is related to this document, but is a discussion to have in TIS where the NRP is defined. Can you hear me okay? Another comment is about the creation of the new working group Onsen, which was formerly known as Onions. Tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, there will be a BOF.
Yeah.
So if the working group is created, this is one of the candidate documents to move to Onsen, because that's among the things that Onsen will cover. We have abstraction, and the network slicing has been identified as one of the topics that fits there. So before moving to the working group last call, we needed to understand if the working group is created and if this is the document to move there.
Thank you. I think it's also good to understand the scope of the new working group, because we have also the technology specific part, which
Exactly.
belongs to CCAMP. So yeah.
It could also be that we need to split the document. Adrian.
Adrian Farrell, no.
Yes.
Look, if the working group has got a piece of work that's ready to go to RFC, let's not wait on the possible creation of a future working group that might adopt a TIS document that might then cause this document to be adopted. You know, we've got work,
So
it's finished, we move forward.
In any case, we have dependencies on the TIS document. That's
sure, but you know, when we're done, we're done. We're not waiting for other stuff that may never happen.
Okay. Ketan.
Yeah, so just on the onsen part, there has been discussion about this. And let me say that these things will be worked out if and when the working group gets formed. There is no dictate or a mandate that work be moved that is already in progress or is sufficiently advanced. Those are coordination things which will work out. So just wanted to clarify them from the discussion that we have had within the ISG. Okay.
Yeah, Haomian from Huawei. Yeah, actually, I talked with some Onsen guys, and that was previous Onions group, and they focus a lot of data model abstraction, but mainly on the packet technologies. That's what I heard so far. So we need to recheck the charter, but given this work is focused on OTN slicing, I believe there should not be any dependency on that. And I'm not in favor of creating complicated dependency anymore. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to have this discussion, but we have to wait for the working group either to be formed or not, and the final version of the charter to understand what will be there or not.
Yeah.
So we are ready to try again with Gabriele for the first slot. Thank you.
I think I saved you some minutes, right?
So Gabriele, you are in the queue. You are allowed to share audio, video. No, it seems it doesn't work. So Roberto, in the meanwhile, volunteered to give the presentation on Gabriele's behalf. Let's see if your connection works, Roberto. Okay. Same problem. It seems that they can hear us, but we cannot hear them. I open the mic and camera, but I land in the queue. Okay. But we can't hear you. Try now, Roberto. No, it seems it's not the. Let's try. Yes.
Trying again. Oh, now it seems better. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Yes. But I can't hear you anymore. Ah, no, I can hear you. Okay, Daniel. Okay, let's see the video.
You have the controller, Roberto.
Okay. Can you hear and see me? I can start.
Yes, please.
Okay, good. Thank you. We finally managed to get connected. So I'm Roberto Manzotti and presenting this draft for the management of configurable DWDM optical interface on behalf of the other authors. The draft should be now pretty mature. We already presented this slide with all the draft relationship with other RFC and the work in progress in CCAMP. I will skip quickly this slide. We are just keeping it for reference. Let's move quickly to the update on what has been done since IETF 124. We are now at the point of completing the RTG-DIR directorate review. Addressed the last issue open from the Young Doctor review, and basically we close the pending issue, but due to some time constraint for presenting the slide here, and we didn't fit it to fix everything, and we have a pair of leftover that now are tracked by two new smaller issues that are tracking the last change pending. Let me go to the next slide. More in detail, what has been done on the Young model. We have the one main issue that was a leaf ref, read-to-write leaf ref that was pointing to a read-only leaf that has been fixed following the Young Doctor review suggestion to use a require instance false, since we need this read-to-write leaf ref for the configuration of the operational mode of the interface. We standardize the Young formatting as suggested by the RTG directory. Improve the description of the TCA definition, and also added the must substatement to avoid that raise and clear threshold can become identical. And there are other minor fix and cleanup all over in the model. For what concerns the document, all the needs and suggestions from the RTGDIR review has been fixed. And we also added an appendix to better explain the behavior of threshold crossing in the model, and added also the young prefix table that was missing before in the document. And more or less this is all. So what we have as next step is to address the latest two issues that we have still pending, and then go for the Pugila score. Any question?
I have a question, Roberto. Relationship with the pluggables model. So, do you think that we can move this work forward, and then the pluggables work can adapt to it, or do you think that there could be impacts on this document deriving from the pluggables work? Because I don't want to risk to go for a bis immediately after the publication.
Yeah, so for what concerns the attribute to use for the configuration and monitoring, I think that we are pretty close between this work and the attribute and the pluggable work. There are few more attributes that has been identified in the pluggable activity, but it should be possible to add them basically to the current model of the DWDM interfaces. From that side, both from the configuration and also the operational aspect. So it should be something that can be done with an augmentation. What is maybe a bit different from the current discussion of the pluggable work is how to handle the performance monitoring. In fact, here in the interface, we don't have a real performance monitoring engine. It's mainly monitoring of the data with the related threshold, but just in real time, so live data. While probably in the pluggable work, there is there is a part of the document that also look at the possibility to integrate a real performance monitoring engine. But in my opinion, also that should be something that can be augmented. That's my opinion.
Yes, Italo Busi. Yes, I think on the BIS, I have a mixed feeling.
Yeah.
I've done a BIS, a couple of BIS, and it's really painful. I was looking in the room. Unfortunately, we don't have Med. I didn't see Med and Mahesh, but I think what the right thing to do, in my opinion, is to speed up the new process and avoid the BIS. But because the YAM model, I don't know, we never finish the YAM model. There is always something to add. And so as Roberto said, maybe the performance monitoring can be an augmentation, but if you need to add one attribute, it may be a BIS. But if the BIS is 10 years work, that's a problem. But then you never finish doing the version 1 of a YAM model because you never know whether you need to add something. So what we really need to do is to have a better way to do a revision of a YAM model. And I think, as Roberto said, this work quite stable, and we may be opportunistic if we find 2-3 attributes that can be added before working group last call, why not? But we don't need to wait until all the gap analysis is finished, otherwise we never go out. But the risk is to have a BIS.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the ideal way would be to build the model so that it can be augmented. If there is something that comes up from the pluggables work that can augment this model, that's relatively simple. We don't need a BIS, we just write a new document. I was more worried about the things to be changed.
Yeah, no,
Hopefully
but
that's not the
the
case.
changes, I think, is the fact that you add an attribute which you discover that you need because of the pluggable work, but is actually not really applicable only to pluggables. Can also be applicable also to non-pluggables. So why you should go into another model? It belongs to the base model. It's just that we forgot to do that in the first round of the base model. That's what I think is going to be most of the majority. Some of them, like performance, maybe you can say, okay, this is a completely new topic. It makes sense to have an augmentation because maybe you don't need to implement performance everywhere. But if it is just an additional attribute which apply to both pluggable and non-pluggable, having an augmentation model just because we published the first version before we discover the attribute looks a little bit strange from a young architectural point of view. This is where I think the BIS really needs to be speeded. We need a better process for the revision of the base YAM model. Because augmentation is good to add, but there should be some modularity design beyond the augmentation, not just, oh, we forgot one attribute. Thank you.
If I can, sorry. If I can add to this just before, if I can add one thing, there is also another point. So the pluggable work, I think, is looking at the problem also from a controller to controller perspective. This model is more focused on the device to controller integration. So we probably also need to understand what from the pluggable work actually is applied downstream to the device to controller. Okay. Sorry, Ketan.
Yeah, I jumped in the queue to respond to Italo. Italo, thanks a lot for bringing up this issue. And this is a real issue. And CCAMP as a working group that is doing so much Yang work. And, recently we have done 100+ pages of, like one of them was a base. So I hear your pain. Please go to Ops. I think it's Ops working group, where this new process and how to do this is being discussed, and participate there and try to get this process streamlined. There has been discussion on this within the ISG. My personal view is that Yang is actually code, and we are trying to document code in RFC. When it comes to specifications, we have this ability to do patch on specifications, right? Just by having a RFC doing some point update and we get it done. This is not possible with Yang because Yang is code and this whole thing. So there may be different ways to doing it, but please be vocal and active and participate in the Ops area initiative to address this problem.
Okay. We can go to the next presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you, Roberto. Bin?
Hi, everyone. My name is Bin Young-yeon from ETRI. I will present the updates to the Yang data model of performance management streaming. Okay. This document is in the progress for the working group adoption. We believe the document is stable, and key updates. We add one new author from the Urinet, small Korean vendor. And we also add the 3 contributors from all of the 3 major Korean operator, KT, LGU, for their operational feedback. We also had a minor technical update to the Yang model for the count thresholding. Okay. As a reminder, this slide is give you the overview of this document. And actually, this document started requirements of the collection and the thresholdings based on the IETF G.7710. And this requirement is represented through the two types of young modules in this document, PM measurement modules and the PM capability modules. And the PM measurement modules define the three measurement measures: count, snapshot, tide mark. And these versions update the transition threshold and the standing threshold. Based on these young modules, the equipment is operated, and then the blocks of the young data stores and exposed support the young module and the capability to the external system, and internal the functional blocks, and the subscription notification functions and deliver the streaming data to the external systems and client. Okay, the subscription procedures between the server equipment and the client and work based on the IETF push model, and including RFC 8641 and the RFC 9196 for the advertising supported capabilities. And then based on the information, client consumed this information to evaluate the performance of a network node. This is the overview of this document. Okay, let's go to the updates in detail. The transition thresholdings in the left diagrams has only one single threshold. And the threshold event is triggered when the measurement values is crossed the thresholds. And then we suggest that the transition thresholds are required is only one single threshold minimum. And so, however, the previous version and defined two types of threshold, and the low and high threshold is defined in the young node. And so we simplified the two thresholds into the one single threshold called transition threshold. And the standing threshold in the right diagrams has two types of threshold, standing threshold and recess threshold. The standing threshold is operate and the same as the transition threshold. The threshold event is triggered when the threshold reach the measurement values reach the threshold. And then after thresholdings, the equipment continuously monitor the measurement value. If the measurement values drops below the recess threshold, at the end of the subsequent intervals, the recess threshold event is triggered to report to the client with the updated young description statement for the standing threshold. That is the update part of the dispersion. Future work, we continue to review young model and document the text. We welcome to review the feedback and the contribution from the CCAMP expert. Anyone interested, please join us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. As you said, we started the adoption process with the IPR polling, and then we will do the process. We have one in the queue. Sorry for misspelling your name.
Yeah. Hi, Daniel. I'm first to on-site at IETF. I'm Ming Shuang from Huawei. And I want to ask, for the transit and the standing threshold, do we have examples in our document to further explain the details?
Mm-hmm. For the use cases or the thresholding use cases?
Yeah, something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
use
yeah.
cases.
Yeah. You can see there's some example code is in my document.
So please, can you for the previous slide for the transit and the standing threshold?
This one, yeah.
For the standing threshold, I'm wondering if it is a useful a period for performance monitoring. During this period, the threshold may be changed, and you mean the performance monitoring task is standing for a period, right?
Yes, and this thresholdings occurred during the count measurement. Count measurement, is to measure the accumulate event, and so we can set the threshold value, and then the measurement, when the measurement value is cross the threshold, and the event is triggered. It's like yeah, that is the work. Yeah.
So the count method, it is one of the type you mentioned. The count, the time mark is one of the 3 types of you mentioned in the document, right?
3 types of 3 types of measurement method. Here is mainly is interesting the count measurement, not related to the others the measurement method, tide mark.
And the transit thresholding is used for the time mark.
Time mark.
For
the
the
transition is related to the count measurement.
Yeah.
Yeah, and your question is.
I'm wondering, the standing threshold is for the count measurement type.
Yeah.
And then what type is the transit threshold is used for?
Yeah. Okay. There's from the application point of view, and the transition agent aims to capture the instance event of the threshold. Okay. And on the other hand, the standing threshold is designed to detect the persistent time of the threshold. That is the main difference between the transition threshold and the standing threshold.
Okay, for the transit is maybe for one time threshold crossing event.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So I'm checking the list of participants. I don't see Nigel. Thank you. So maybe we can anticipate one of the presentations that we have tomorrow, either to retry with the presentation on pluggables or to leave more time to the presenter tomorrow. Anyone willing to give his presentation today? Scott, maybe you said that you were willing to do it. Present your slide, your draft now. As you wish. Please, so that you have for sure more time today than tomorrow. Tomorrow is fully packed. Yes, probably. It's not in the slides. Yes.
No. Well, I'm Scott Mansfield Erickson. I will be presenting shortly the latest work that we've been doing on a BIS of the microwave radio link module. And there, I'm done. I can go down.
But I'm not sure they show up among the slides.
This is it.
Yes.
So one of the first things that you will notice is that we changed the name a bit to put in CCAMP just so that people knew which group we were talking about. So this is the data model for microwave radio link. what we would like to do and what we've been doing for the past couple years now is looking at RFC 8561, finding some issues that need to be addressed. There has been some work that has been happening in other groups like ORAN that are using the microwave radio link, and there's been some inspiration from there that we're pulling out to put into the IETF draft. We have established the use of GitHub, so thanks to Martin and those guys that did all the markdown things for that. We really like using that. And that is where, if you're interested in the work that we've been doing, we do track issues in there, and you can find the entire history of that. So what we've been doing, we also have meetings that happen every Thursday, and we've been doing those for quite a while as well. And so that we can continue to increase our understanding of the microwave models and to make sure that we have everything discussed with amongst the group that is doing the discussing, which you can see. So if you look at the minutes, we capture minutes every meeting with who's there and all those issues. So the recent changes that we've been making is that we noticed that, oh, there's a new common Yang data types module now. So we need to update that. And we added some leaves. And this is all, if you're into microwave, you understand what this stuff means. Expected far end ID, so that the near end can check that it's connected to what it's expecting to connect to. And there's some work on coding and modulation on an identity. We added a new identity for that, but there's other discussion, and this is where we would like to have some more microwave people engaged as well, to look at all of the identities that we have for coding and modulation identities and rationalize it. So that's another thing that we're doing. Lots of editorial changes to fix some things. And then we change the name of the draft. So where we are now is these are the major open issues that we have related to our work. And the longest standing one is the band and carrier aggregation work. So if you're interested in that, please join and take a look at what we've been doing there. So those are all of our current open discussions. And so our very simple ask is to please join. And I would really like to elevate this to a working group document, either this meeting, next meeting, whatever, just so that we can get some more eyes on the draft. So and it's very mature. We've been doing this for a little while now. There's good engagement on the calls. If you're interested in microwave, join the calls and contribute to the GitHub. So that's my presentation. Thank you.
Any question? No. So
see,
thanks
there you
a
go.
lot.
No
thanks
problem.
A lot to you.
Anytime.
We are almost on time. We don't have any time for further presentations, but we will wrap up and reconvene tomorrow, where once again we will have a very packed agenda. So please try to shorten your presentations and leave room to Q&A. We will try again to reach out to Nigel and put him back on the agenda to have an update on the pluggables work. In that case, it will be the first one. And that's it. See you tomorrow. Thanks a lot. Yes.